Hi, welcome along to AFTV. We are here for another box to box here at St James's Park, the home of Newcastle United. And joining me from the Magpie channel, the #1 Newcastle channel, is my old mate Matty Renton.
Yes,
right? And you know what? Over the years, when I first met Matt, and we'd be talking about Newcastle, invariably, he'd start off by talking about Mike Ashley, and Mike Ashley this, and Mike Ashley that. But over the last couple of years, Mike Ashley's gone. New owners have come in the Saudi owners, and this whole place, Matty, has been absolutely transformed. I mean, I was up here last season and the season before, and since the old owner left, and it's noticeable. The atmosphere, just everything about the place is different, and there's a real buzz around Newcastle.
Massive buzz, huge buzz everywhere you go. Literally, the whole city is united now. You know what I mean? It's been the name for a long time, but for a long time in the previous regime, it was far from that. Do you know what I mean? It was split, it was toxic, it was negative, it was frankly miserable, to be honest with you, Rob. Every week was a chore coming to the game. You were just going for the day out more than the football, because it was pathetic, to be honest. But now it's the absolute polar opposite. There's ambition here, there's hope, and we'll come every week. The expectancy levels are rising, to be honest. Last home game here, battered Crystal Palace 4-0, didn't get out of second gear, but everyone was thinking, well, some more here, isn't there? 5, 6, 7. I don't want this to turn into the Etihad, and it never will, because we're full of Geordies. But those expectancy levels are rising now, and people are coming here not just expecting to win, but to be entertained as well. Yeah,
and one of the amazing things about this place, even in those years where things are a bit of a downer, is that it does carry the atmosphere. It's one of the most atmospheric grounds in the country, and that's risen as well, hasn't it?
It has. War flags, you got to shout them out. We've seen it. We've had compliments from all over Europe now. Do you know what I mean? With the displays against Dortmund and Paris Saint-Germain and blowing them out the way. I think that PSG game was won before the ball was even kicked. Do you know what I mean? With the backing, they didn't know what to do. Dortmund was different because Germany, the yellow wall, Dortmund fans themselves are sensational. So but against PSG, against other teams, your Man Cities and stuff, it's a huge atmosphere, and then the displays, the passion from the crowd, the players feel it. And listen, there's not another club in the world that celebrates interceptions like we do. Do you know what I mean? When we're sliding tackles and stuff, and everyone's going mental over a tackle or winning the corner. So it's going to be mad tomorrow. It should be a class game, mate.
Yeah, it's going to be a great game. And with all that great atmosphere, we did come here last year, Arsenal, and get a win, a 2-0 win. I think at a time when most people thought we wouldn't come here and get a result. It's going to be a really, really even game. First of all, what I want to ask you is, when you look at the Arsenal team, who are you looking at and thinking that could be an issue, that could be a problem? What's your fears from the Arsenal team?
It's Martinelli fit, yeah?
Martinelli is fit,
I really like Martinelli. Obviously, Saka is always going to be top, pretty much world class for me. One of the best in his position in his world, but not that he's really got going this season, I suppose, from my point of view. But he's always carries the threat. And then obviously the midfield recruitment in Declan Rice is top class, and your defence is solid as well. So if you're looking at Martinelli on the break, for me, could be a dangerous one. Be interesting to see what fullbacks we play after the likes of Trippier had an unbelievable season, gets better every game. But Tino Livramento came the other night, man of the match again, top class. So I think on the break, Martinelli's going to be dangerous. Rice is going to be very important for your midfield. I'm looking forward to that battle between him and Bruno and him and Joelinton.
Yeah, we was discussing that battle when we were sort of looking at our predicted 11s and saying that is going to be a battle that's going to be very interesting to watch, because a lot of strength in there from both teams. I mean, I think probably Arsenal probably even go with Tomiyasu at the back, which is again another bit of strength in the team. So it could be a more of a sort of physical battle than we're expecting, rather than just pure silky skills in the game.
I think that's one way that we could get at you, isn't it, really? That's one way we could look at it and try and be a bit more physical, because if it's tit for tat, then you are obviously going to do well. So try and rough you up. Your Jamal Lascelles rough you up, Trippier, Joelinton. Like you said on your side of things, could be a red card tomorrow, Robbie. I wouldn't be surprised if it was a red card tomorrow. I really
Hopefully not on our side. Right? But listen, you guys have been flying. Who are the main guys? Who do you look at tomorrow and say those are the players that you think could do damage to Arsenal?
See, the brilliant thing is that we played with C team against Man United the other night, and everyone, and obviously it's Man United, so it's not too much.
C team, not even. I must admit, because when I saw that team, I was like, Newcastle just want to go out.
Yeah.
and you actually demolished them.
It literally was the
Yeah.
same team. We didn't have a centre back on the pitch, so
Yeah.
both centre backs were full backs. You know, Kraft
Yeah.
and Paul Dummett hadn't played for 18 months. Emil Kraft hadn't kicked the ball for a year and a half. You know, we didn't have a striker. Anthony Gordon was up top. The midfield, Dubravka came in. The last time Dubravka played was for Man United, not Newcastle, when he was on loan. So it was our C team, honestly, mate.
Yeah.
So the thing is, and obviously, like I said, it's not going to be that way. But the point is that Eddie Howe, no matter who plays, they know the role, they know the philosophy, they know their identity. So for me, what you need to be looking at, anyone can come in and do a job for us. I really believe that. Arsenal is a different kettle of fish because you are one of the best teams in the league now. You went for the title last year. So what you want to be looking at is Bruno, world class.
Bruno Guimaraes.
World class. Shame there's no Sven Botman, but Lascelles and Shaw have stepped up massively.
Yep.
Anthony Gordon's been on fire this season.
Yep.
Top talent. You know, he's finally getting that end product that's been questioned of him for so long. Same can be said on the other flank for Miguel Almiron. He's scoring goals
Yep.
for fun now.
Yep.
And then in midfield, Joelinton's back, and people sleep on Sean Longstaff because it's one of those where a local lad came through the academy, nothing exotic about him, but honestly, he goes under the radar.
Yep. And up front, Isak still out, is he?
Still out, unfortunately, mate. Yeah, but Callum Wilson, nobody scored more Premier League goals since April than Callum Wilson. He's on serious smoke as well.
He's rolling off stats already.
And the real ones, not AJT stats. These are facts. Cold hard facts. But Callum Wilson, mate, he gets a chance in the box, he takes it. You know what I mean? He takes it. Even against Wolves last week, he scuffed the first one, scores the overhead kick rebound. So Wilson's a danger in the box. He's fresh. He was rested. Came on the last 10-20 minutes against Man United. But Wilson up top, we're going to have to do well tomorrow. We are going to have to take those chances if we want to get something out of the game.
Now, listen, at home you have been brilliant, but there have been a couple of setbacks for you at home as well. There was the Liverpool game when, you know, they were reduced down to 10 men and everyone was expecting you to then go on and win, which you didn't. And you ended up losing that one. And there was the Dortmund game, which I kind of looking at, you know, and thinking that Arsenal may sort of deploy similar sort of style to that, where Dortmund sort of came, a lot of people said Dortmund did a bit of a number on Newcastle because, you know, they were a bit more pragmatic, but were very, very good when they got their chances on the break.
Thing is, with the Dortmund game, we'll be like, that. There's no way we shouldn't have at least got a draw out of that. I mean, we've hit the bar twice, so one cleared off the line. So it's one of them games where Dortmund started very strong and they sat back, and listen, it was perfect away performance from them. I hope to be celebrating the same result next week in Germany. You know, that's exactly what you'd want from an away game. But like you said, the Liverpool game was a funny one. Going down to 10 men doesn't always help. Against 10 men, sorry, you know, it doesn't always help. It really doesn't. I thought we would look worse when Van Dijk went off because we maybe shot a little bit too soon in that game as well. We're missing chances, so it's a strange one. But overall, we've been unbelievable here at home. And
yeah, and a few, you had Wolves last week again where, you know,
looked tired then.
Still not the fully polished Newcastle. I mean, listen, you're still playing very well, but you're going to be coming up against an Arsenal team that, you know, despite the losses in the loss in the Carabao Cup, and there was a loss against Lens, but in the Premier League, unbeaten this season.
Unbeaten still. Obviously that went the other night against West Ham, but in the league,
yeah,
still a threat, and that's your serious. That's where you're focusing on, isn't it? Surely the league. It's going to be hard. It will be hard tomorrow. We did look tired against Wolves, but listen, everyone's had the rest now. Nobody really played against Man United, and winning breeds confidence. In that dressing room would have been buzzing at Old Trafford the other night. Bit of revenge for the final that we got beat at back in February. So listen, everyone will turn up here tomorrow, 5:30. The atmosphere will be rocking. The players will be ready. We've got to turn up because these are the games where we're testing ourselves against now. So I mean, we seem to do better, I think, than Wolves and teams like that. When Arsenal come here, point to prove and show that we need to mix it against the big boys.
All right, let's get some predictions.
Well, you're not going to like this one. 1-0, Joe Willock.
Wow, you know what? Joe Willock scored a great goal the other night, by the way.
Off the bench.
By the way, I did tell you, didn't I? Remember when you were signing Joe Willock? And you actually called me up and you said, what's he like? And I said, he's a goal-scoring midfielder. And I've been really pleased to see what he's done here, you know what I mean? Because I think he was a bit unlucky at Arsenal because he just had so many players in front of him, but he was really emerging. And to see him come through the Arsenal Academy and to be doing so well here, that's been really good. But I don't want to see none of that from him tomorrow. Behave yourself, Joe, right? Funny enough, I actually went 1-0 as well.
Oh.
But I went 1-0 Arsenal, Martin Odegaard.
Oh, he's finally going to turn up. Has he been a bit quiet last few games?
Well, that's why he's
I should have said that. I regret saying that immediately. Regret saying that. Because he scored here last year and he was quality.
Yeah. Came on the other night for 5 minutes, scored as well. I just got a funny feeling that he could be the difference tomorrow, but I do think it's going to be a tight game. But listen, looking forward to it, Matty. Always
Nice
good
one,
to see
bro.
you.
Enjoy the tune, mate.
It's going to be right here where it's going to be rocking inside this stadium. By the way, when are we going to get to witness that?
Yeah, because you're so far up.
We're going to be up there. You know what I mean? We're right up there. You know what I mean? You see on the top of that stanchion. That's probably where I'll be. We're right on the top there. You know what I mean?
We have to set off now, mate. To be honest.
Why do we always end up so high? Why is Newcastle the only team in the Premier League that puts everybody so high up?
People used to say it was something to do with Mike Ashley that forced them up there, and then it was a council issue. It's a policing issue. It's got to change soon, hasn't it? Because they can say everywhere else you're right on the pitch.
Listen, this place, amazing atmosphere. I always love coming here. But the only one thing that spoils it for me, I do feel, is that you're so high up that sometimes you don't kind of feel part of it. You kind of feel a bit removed from the amazing atmosphere, and you kind of want to be down there. And I'm sure the Newcastle fans would love to see, you know, the opposition fans down there as well for the banter.
I think so.
The back and forth.
It'd be better to have you as close at the pitch so you could get involved and create that whole. Because Dortmund, all you could hear was the drum for 90 minutes. Do you know what I mean? So they were a bit out of it as well. So it'd be ideal if we could put you in that corner along the bottom. I think.
Maybe one day. Maybe we
Once
come
the extension happens, mate, there's an extension plan. So
okay, they probably put us even higher up. You know what I mean? Probably building on top. You know what I mean? But listen, looking forward to the game, Matty.
Nice one, mate.
It's going to be here tomorrow, 5:30 kickoff. Looking forward to it.